So the topic I'm going to cover is the conflict process in an organization and the conflict resolution strategies. So we're going to start off with the conflict. We all know what a conflict is. It's the degree of disagreement between the parties. It can be verbal, it can be between the changes in ideas from one people to another. So coming to the conflict process, we're going to start off with the first process, which is potential opposition or incompatibility, which essentially means that it is the source of the conflict. So the source can be divided into certain categories. The three categories are which one is the communication, structure, and personal variables. So coming to a communication stage, I can explain this with an example. So Vishal and Sruti are working together as a team. They're communicating really properly. They're doing their work really good, and the organization is benefiting really much. And Sruti excelled in her work, and she got a promotion. So Swati came and joined Vishal's team. So they are new to the team, so they can't communicate properly. Whatever Vishal is trying to convey, Swati is not understanding. So they can't do their work properly. So there is a lack in the communication. So that may reduce the overall productivity they're gonna have, and that's gonna decrease the overall productivity the organization is gonna have. So the second one is structure, organization structure. So I'll take another example, Nitesh and Nasmi. So Nitesh is the production quality manager, and Nasmi is a production manufacturer. So Nasmi's duty is to get the high quality products. She should ensure that products are high quality, and Nitesh should ensure that the quality is okay and should assure them. But whatever Nasmi is doing, Nitesh is like, no, I don't like this quality. You should be better. And so conflict may arise between initially to Nasmi, right? So that is how structure can affect the organization and how it can induce a conflict. So third reason is personal variables. So personal variables is when, like, when they are some two people are talking or they're talking about some subject, they're not agreeing to anything. They're like making up things, like the way he speaks or the way he takes things are completely different. Like we try to convey one thing, and the other person is not trying to understand our stand. They are just going on their own. So personal variables can also play as the source of any conflict. So we move on to the second stage. The second stage is cognition and personalization. So cognition, perception. Like if two people are like Vignesh and Suhail are like having a disagreement, that doesn't essentially mean they're having a conflict. The Vignesh is trying to convey something, and Suhail is just rejecting it. It may be because of Vignesh's some problem with work he has done. So Vignesh might not think it was because of his superior the problem may arise. It was because we solved problem. So disagreement does not mean conflict. Like if Vignesh is doing everything and Suhail is like not looking at it, and he's like, no, I don't want this. And that's inhibiting the work that Vignesh has done. So like two people does not having a disagreement does not mean they're having a conflict. So the third one is intentions. So intention is how we can resolve the strategy, conflict resolution strategies. So we have five of these strategies. One is competing, collaborating, avoiding, accommodating, and compromising. So competing essentially means that two people are like really confident with the work they have, confident with the ideas they have. So they are not ready to lay down the other person. They are like competing with each other. So as Ansu said, there is the both parties need to win. They need the other party to lose. So competing, but can be can increase the productivity, but it can decrease it, because a friendly competition may induce the other person to be more innovative, more ideas may generate from this. But competition in such a part may also have a decreasing effect, because the other person may really try to degrade the other person. That's like the unfriendly type of competition. So next is the collaborating stage. Collaborating stage is where the ideas that two people have are more important. The other person also know the ideas that this person has said is important, and I can't just ignore it. So the thing they can do is join their two ideas together so that it can benefit the organization better. So collaborating essentially means that both parties will win together. So the next one is avoiding stage. So avoiding stage is when a conflict happens and it's of a trivial matter. nothing that will benefit an organization, and like they can just avoid it. Like the conflict, the reason for the disagreement may not be as much as they think of, and one person or both the person may think like that we should avoid this conflict for the better of the organization. So avoiding means neither party will win and neither party will lose. So for a middle ground for both of them. So next we move on to the accommodating stage. Accommodating stage is where when this party, we are two parties, and the other parties have more important ideas they have, and I know they have the more important, and they should be of the higher priority. So I know I will lose. So I'm just making sure that my lose will be as minimum as possible. So I'm making them accommodate with me so that I can win with them, and the lose or the loss that I might have will be reduced. So next we move on to the compromising stage. Compromising stage is the bending the ideas that we have. Both the teams may have ideas that may be beneficial to the organization, but they have some disagreements. So both the parties are willing to bend some of their ideas they have to reach a common ground, so they can work properly and make the productivity increase and overall productivity of the organization. So it may increase. So we move on to the next stage, which is behavior. Behavior is where the conflict is visible to everyone. It may start verbally and may end up to physical assault. Like during these three stages, the conflict will not be visible to everyone. It must be between those two persons. But when it comes to the behavior stage, then it will be visible to every other person that these two persons have a really big problem, and they may have some verbal accusation about each other in the office that may end up to physical assaults. So the last stage, which is the behavior, which is the outcome stage. So outcome stage is where the result of the conflict we have just seen. So the conflict may have two outcomes, maybe functional or it may be dysfunctional. The positive stage is functional because sometimes a conflict may have a positive outcome, because it may be because of the conflict may arise because the organization is not giving enough policies to the employees, so the employees are just having a conflict with the heads of the organization, so because they want to have more benefits in the organization, so that might lead to having benefits for the organization. So, and the negative can be the fights between people may lead to fights always lead to the negative outcomes. It might be lowered in the productivity of those two people who's having the fight. With that will lead to the organization having a lower productivity. So that's for the process of conflict, and these five is over the conflict resolution strategies. So just to recap, the first one is potential opposition, which consists of communication, structural and personal variables. The second stage is cognitive, perception and personalization. Third one is intentions. Fourth one is behavior, and the last one is the outcome of the conflict. Any doubts?